Hooray! Mercury's direct and this recording will work. I'm Kim Fairminer and I'm here with my lovely friend Sandra Lee from Stellarly Astrology. And today we're here to talk you through the lunar eclipse, which is happening at the very end of November. So,
fun
Sandra,
times, fun times, as if 2020 hasn't given us enough.
look, eclipse seasons roll around every 6 months or so. So we're going in and yeah, we're leaving 2020 with a bang. It's going to be, dare I say, fun.
Interesting.
Gemini loves interesting though, and this lunar eclipse is at 8 degrees 38 minutes of Gemini. So there's a curiosity, and I must admit, I'm a Gemini. I'm curious about this eclipse.
Yep, I have Gemini up the top of my chart, so I'm getting an umbrella ready. Cover me.
You're a wuss.
I am. Well, it's up there with Saturn, see? So yes,
okay.
Absolutely. That's where I'm wussy.
Yeah, it pays to be prepared wherever Saturn is in your chart, and if it's up the top, gonna like be neck and neck with an eclipse, cozying up to the eclipse moon.
They do tend to clear out the shit. So yeah, it's an interesting one.
It is. It's in Queensland, where both Sandra and I are located. The full moon, because a lunar eclipse can only happen at a full moon, is exact at 7:30 p.m. In Brisbane. If you're in an Atlantic time zone, that'll be in the morning. For your exact time and location, you can go check out timeanddate.com because we don't know where you are.
No, but we should. You should absolutely let us know.
Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear.
Yeah. It's a North Node eclipse. It's hungry. It is very hungry. We have that unconscious vibe of knowing that we want something, but perhaps not exactly sure what that is at the moment.
Yeah, it's almost like the moon or the North Node's there, and it's going through a buffet, which nobody's been to all through 2020 because of the pandemic. And it's just like munging out on Gemini topics. And, you know, the consequences of all that rapid unconscious satiation, we don't know what those consequences are. I find eclipses are like portals. They're a doorway for stepping through, and you're not going to know fully what's on the other side until you get there. There's a degree of trust, I guess, involved that that there is something there. There is something there on the other side. The sign gives us some clues though. So Gemini.
Gemini, yes, chatty, talkative.
Yeah, we mentioned
lively.
Curiosity early before, and that's what I'm feeling right now, because we've been kind of going through this like stuck period. We just before we started recording, Sandra reminded me that Mercury, which is only just stationed direct as we record this, has been in Libra and Scorpio for weeks and weeks, and Gemini is a fast moving sign. Mercury is a fast-moving planet, so there's this need to get moving, and I think that eclipse is going to help us get things rolling and generate some momentum and movement that's been lacking for quite a while.
Absolutely. I've said a few times in the last few weeks, I feel like I am dog paddling backwards on my side at the moment, and it's as awkward as that is in your head. That's how I feel, and this eclipse will clear stuff out and help me process. So it's going to help everyone else process. It's that thought energy that we've been stuck in with Mercury retrograde. Time to shift it.
Yeah, because Mercury is still in Scorpio. It's just out of that retrograde shadow by the time we get to this eclipse. So we've got like a renewed mental and intellectual confidence, I reckon, because we've done that deep work. We've done that probing, and hopefully we've, come up from the scorpionic mucky depths with a gold nugget or a gem that lights the way forward for us and helps us feel lighter because we've had a win. And this fact, this thing that we've found on our inner journey can light the way forward and lead the way. It's a beacon of hope.
Absolutely. Mercury in Scorpio native here, tends to really get in there and get something out of every situation. It's not content to just sit on the surface and go, okay, that's how it is. And I feel, particularly as we're recording this the day after the US election, Kim, there's so much unknown at the moment. And by the time this eclipse rolls around, we can confidently predict that you will get to the other side of it with more knowledge, whether that's knowledge of what you want to eliminate or knowledge of what you need to bring to you. But yeah, there's a more definite knowing coming up. Hang in there.
Yeah, there's something factual. There's something like I wouldn't say like a belief, because that's more the south node, and the south node's always opposite the north node. So the south node's out there in Sagittarius, which is a very opinionated sign. Gemini is about those facts. Like, well, what do we know? Did those ballots come in? Were they counted? It's about the facts, the numbers. Let's get it all together. And because Mercury is sextile Saturn at the time of this eclipse and just off a sextile from Jupiter, there's a structured thinking here. It's things come together. Jupiter creates cohesion, and Saturn kind of bonks you over the head and tells you to get your act together. So there's a plan and the ability to take control after the big reveal of the eclipse, because the eclipse is going to show you something that you didn't know at a conscious level. It's going to bring the unconscious to visual awareness as that shadow goes across the moon. And also we have Neptune. So there's some interesting kind of dynamics between what's real, what's solid, what's serious and reliable, and the smoke and mirrors.
Absolutely. That square to Neptune, the helpful aspect from Saturn to Mercury is productive. I would call that productive. But then you add that tight square to Neptune, and Neptune is at what we call the bendings in this eclipse, and it can be delusional, it can be confused. You might be lucky enough to have a spiritual awakening, but it's not going to be an easy ride. It's very interesting. Wondering how this will manifest collectively.
Yes, it almost seems to offer like relief and solidity to some people, and like other people are just going to kind of spiral off a little bit further into their own delusional worlds.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Neptune can be very draining, so I would always recommend paying attention to that. If you're feeling exhausted and drained, don't try and push on through with this energy.
Yeah, I think that's really like great general advice for any eclipses, particularly lunar eclipses, because the moon's so closely associated with the body. So like that, I don't know, shadow over the body, depleted energy is possible. And Neptune can be, I always think of Neptune as leaky. And yeah, the draining that you mentioned is like something's kind of like just reducing your vitality. Neptune doesn't have a lot of oomph. It's got a lot of inspiration, imagination. Like it's just sort of amazing for poetry and sharing, transcendental experiences of oneness with your fellow man and all creatures and beings of all the realms. But yeah, that's in kind of like quite direct contrast with the nuts and bolts of Mercury sextile Saturn.
Absolutely. Neptune does not have feet on ground ever. But the helpful Mercury-Saturn sextile with that square to Neptune, I'm imagining we're going to see some amazing pictures up on Instagram that week. People's to-do list will be ticked off, or you're going to have those people who are out there just getting lost in nature. It's definitely not a good moon. I would never recommend doing any spell work or ritual work.
Oh yeah, this isn't the time to pop out your moon water.
No, it's even with that beautiful Neptune, and the moon usually would be ideal for this, but it's an eclipse, so perhaps let it go. Let it go.
Let it go. That's beautiful. Let's leap into some horoscopes and tell people what they can do according to their rising sign, if you know it. If you don't know it, call your local astrologer and they'll be only too happy to help you through your chart. So for Aries, it's falling in your third house. The third house is to do with communication, early childhood education, your immediate environment. So what's happening is that this eclipse is kind of thrusting in your face all those hidden unconscious factors that inform that communication, understanding, and also relationships with your neighbours. You could realise that there's a gap in your learning or your ability to communicate your ideas. And I also think that this is like with that Neptunian thing, there's a kind of a curiosity, like what else is there? And there's a sense of like openness and like, you know, soaking up all the information.
Absolutely. And it's okay for our Aries rising friends to stop for a second. Just catch their breath.
Oh gosh, that would be, yeah, recommended. Aries is a high energy sign, and like even though this eclipse is at the end of November, Mars is really not hit full speed yet. So pace yourself, Aries.
Absolutely. So Taurus, so this eclipse is in the second house for our Taurian friends, which is resources and values, personal. It's that things of value. It could be finances, but I feel that with Neptune up there in the 11th house, it is more about their values versus the values of any groups that they're involved in, and associations. Maybe they're putting out too much energy and not getting enough back.
Yeah, that's the sense I have around there. Like, you know, what really are your values? Like, why are you involved with these people or, you know, this team or this committee? And yeah, the financial dimension to that as well. Like, don't be taking financial advice from any of those people. Don't put it out to committee or to your social media or wherever. Like, you know, go to a professional rather than, you know, the grapevine.
Absolutely. And don't try and keep up with the friends.
No. Keeping up with the Joneses, bad plan.
Absolutely.
All right, Gemini, this is my sun's sign. Yeah, so in a way, it's all about me. And you, if you're a Gemini rising. You might feel a bit tired and lazy and over emotional whenever you get a full moon in your sign. Like it really brings up like a certain ripeness for emotion. So if anything's been kind of like simmering away beneath the surface, this eclipse is going to do it in a big way. You could find yourself blurting out a lot of feelings. Gemini being Gemini, we love our words to talk and to communicate. Yeah, watch the social media posts. You might say too much. Work's also likely to feel quite overwhelming and overstimulating as well, because you've got that Neptune going through your 10th house, your career sector. All things at work could just be straight up weird. Probably, again, much like Aries, don't leap to action just yet. Yeah, things are mysterious with this lunar eclipse and with the Neptune station.
Yeah. Aim high and don't lie is what we recommend for Gemini. Yes, absolutely. And Cancer, this is in your 12th house. You are so sleepy. It is just You're exhausted probably. It's been a tough year, particularly for our Cancer friends. And it's very much about looking after yourself. When things are in the 12th house, you can't see them clearly. You can feel them, but you need to just, it's okay to say no, just for now.
Yeah, it totally is. I think Cancer will be like, if you give yourself that alone time, some really great insights are going to, you know, bubble up and be received. Meditation will be, top shelf during, you know, that little period at the end of November for you.
Yeah, still the mind.
Yes. Oh, it's easier said than done. Leo's eclipse will fall in the 11th house. So the shady weirdness of this eclipse focuses on group situations and, you know, friendships. There could be one particular friend where this plays out. It has the potential to be fun though, particularly if you've known each other for ages and things don't get too heavy. Chances are you've worked all that out anyway, you know, with the Mercury action through Scorpio and Libra. So a light and gentle touch will save you from drowning in any emotional weirdness. So, you know, keep on being fabulous, Leo. Yeah, you do it well.
Absolutely. That square to Neptune over to the 8th house is about shared resources. So don't compare yourself to all the other people that you're seeing doing fabulous things at the moment. You're fabulous too. You're a Leo. Never forget that. But yeah, it's definitely a getting out there vibe. Try something different.
Yeah, keep it light.
Leave the house.
Oh yeah.
Safely.
How about Virgo, Sandra?
So this is in the 10th house for Virgo. So this is really prominent. And with all of this Mercury activity, Virgos will be feeling it. I'm getting that, you know, that nervous energy that our Mercury ruled signs can find working overtime in their mind is definitely career related, status related. We have that square to the 7th house. So there's definitely something there about others. It's you could be having someone is your 7th house transit at the moment. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are a good influence.
Yeah. I flag that like it's a key partner, could be incredibly psychic and giving you amazing, you know, connected information, channeled or whatever, or they could be feeding you utter rot. And basically, Virgo's cooked up this really sweet career scheme. So I forgive them for being a little bit excited, but yeah, pace yourself and, you know, do your Virgo discernment.
Yeah, and just relax every now and again, for God's sake.
Look, we say that about Virgo every time, don't we?
Yes, we do.
For everybody, just chill a bit. Chilling's good.
Yeah, the details.
So Libra, I've flagged this curiouser and curiouser. It's got a bit of an escape vibe for me, and your plan is coming along quite nicely. But like doubts may strike under this eclipse. Health and work, again, you could be feeling a bit overwhelmed about issues there, thanks to Neptune in your 6th house. But you know, you're going places. You know, trust that the universe will catch you on the other side of this eclipse portal.
Absolutely. It's a dreaming big and thinking and focusing on the bigger things energy, and don't overdo it if you are getting fit or working on your diet or health at the moment. Baby steps. Oh, Scorpio, it's in your 8th house. It's one of your favorite houses. So for this one, it's a hidden house. It's about probably getting to know some of the deeper, darker things that are hidden away at the moment, pulling them out into the kind of light, because you don't want to just pull them out into broad daylight, they'll run away. I would recommend that if you haven't done your tax yet, it's time to get on it before you have to pay the piper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of an amoral feel, like, yeah, the temptation to sort of, wade in and, where can we be flexible? Because Gemini is that mutable sign, and yeah, have a good hard think about being flexible with the tax man, because that Mercury Saturn may not appreciate the Neptunian smoke and mirrors routine.
Yes. And Neptune in the fifth, there's some delicious possibilities and potentials there, but we will keep this PG rated. But yes, enjoy and use protection.
Sagittarius gets some relationship action in the 7th house, and so I see this lunar eclipse exposing that soft hidden underbelly of a key relationship in your life. It's like a little softer, a little squishier, and maybe you are too. You're kind of greedy to know more about your partner and what this relationship means for you, and it's, I think, a time where more questions will be raised than answers. So don't try and sort of, rush through that process and discover it all at once. Neptune's running interference down the bottom of your chart. So yeah, there's not so much you can do about that.
Yeah, there's not much to hold on to down there at the bottom, but don't run away. If your significant other needs support, being Sag, you do have that South Node there for the next 18 months or just under. But yeah, so try and, plan some significant time with your significant other.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's the Libra. Capricorn. So this is in your 6th house. So as we keep saying to our Capricorn buddies, keep going. You are so close to the finish line. This is your habits and your routines that need shaking up. It is your day-to-day work, routines. You've been through a lot. So we're going to be very gentle with you. With Neptune in the 3rd house, just be aware that honesty is integral. You may be being lied to, or you may be the one who is, fudging it a little bit. But yeah, your local area, things are not as they seem.
Yeah, gossip, neighborhood gossip could, take you in. So just, I think because Cap's been, right at the edge, peak performance for so long, that there's a little bit of vulnerability there. So maybe, not doing the overtime and having a little rest.
Just a tad, a bath with some nice wine.
Yes.
But yeah, this could be impacting your health. So that's, as always, an indicator to stop.
Yes, sure is. Aquarius has an influx of creative ideas with the lunar eclipse in the 5th house, but I don't think you're going to get it unless you're relaxed and doing something that you love. You've got to be in a position, Aquarius, to receive these amazing sort of, downloads from the other side. I've got share them around, like, because Neptune's in your 11th. No, where's the...
Neptune's in the 2nd.
Thank you. Yeah, of course it is, because I've written, don't pick up the bill. Financial responsibilities are really hazy. So don't, keep an eye on your purse, basically.
Absolutely. You've got some big stuff coming up from December, but just watch that cash flow. Hobbies can be very expensive.
Sure can.
So can children and romance. But okay, Pisces, lucky last as always, because that's the way the zodiac goes. This is in your 4th house. So it's that desire to probably retreat, keep it a little low, which Pisces is very comfortable with. The feels might be a little intense at home. And with Neptune there in the 1st house, where it's been for a long time, you are really feeling it.
It's tiring, and you need a rest and to nourish the inner life and to hang with your nearest and dearest, to kind of, I don't know, replenish the roots, do some fertilizing or something. I don't know.
Absolutely. Or get on ancestry.com and, you know, dig a little deeper into your roots, and be inspired by your past. But yeah, definitely try and keep your feet on the ground. It's hard for our Pisces friends because they have tails, but
yeah, you're preaching to me. I'm Pisces rising. I know all about this.
Yeah. So just as much as possible. And I mean, it's very go with the flow when things are down the bottom. It's
Swim, Pisces, swim.
Pisces swim beautifully.
They do. All right, that was a fun little journey around the zodiac. Perhaps you know, I know Sandra knows, but eclipses are never just singular events. There's another one coming up in mid-December. It's the big one, the solar eclipse. So we'll be doing another video about that. Hit subscribe so it shows up in your little, you know, YouTube alerts. And it's a big, important one. Lunar eclipses are nice. Solar eclipses are the main event. So this is like a preview of what's to come.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to this one because it's total.
It is
big things coming.
Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted to share with our viewers?
No, hang in there. We're nearly there. You can check me out on social media at Stella Lee Astrology on Instagram, and my website, stellaleeastrology.com. I've been pretty low key since watching The Social Dilemma still. But just hit subscribe. Kim's work is amazing.
Yeah, I've got a course coming up on moon magic that starts on the 20th of November that, you might want to check out on my website, kimfairminer.com. I'd love to, spend some time with you and, teach you how to manifest with the moon. Just two part things, very exciting, and I'm so keen to get back to teaching. And one thing I will plug about you, Sandra makes these amazing planetary beads, and there's not pickings for astrologically magical stuff have been fairly limited recently, but I love my beads. Maybe you'd like a string of beads. So you didn't say pair, there's more than one.
String.
Yeah, a string of beads. Please check us out, friend us on the socials, and we will be back to chat about that solar eclipse fairly soon. Bye.
Bye.